Hello, Days, and welcome back to the latest Benidorm News update. Today is Friday. Once again, happy upcoming weekend, everyone. And we're here to share with you guys three different news plus the weather forecast, as we usually do every Monday and Friday here on the channel. Don't forget to click a like and subscribe to our channel if you still did not do so, because this helps us grow and reach more fans of Benidorm, Costa Blanca, and Spain in general. Today we have different types of news, so let's dive into them directly. The first news is obviously about the tourism update. As you all know, right now everything is over. All the celebrations are over. That is it. There's not going to be anything else up until the Easter holidays here, which will be in April month. And that is when officially the summer season 2025 will start. The prices will go up because it's technically summer season already, and will be more and more people arriving to the region. Even so, as you can see right now, there is quite a lot of people here from earliest morning in the city. Non-stop people arriving, departing, luggages can be seen everywhere, and there's just a whole lot of movement. So even though it's quite quiet in terms of events, it doesn't mean that Benidorm is empty at all. The championship of cyclocross ended this January, towards the end of January, and now we have already the official new date for 2026. It's going to be here back again on the 18th of January. There's going to be the championship next year, 2026. So people started already to register themselves, and this year there's been thousands and dozens of thousands of people here. So next year, probably it's going to be even a bigger and even more important and memorable event here in the area. Apart from that, obviously, there's a little bit of everything. There is boat trips, there's sightseeing, hiking, natural parks, viewpoints. There's a museum on the open air as well, exhibitions of pictures, photography. There is a little bit of everything out here, and everything is available for you guys. Terra Natura and Mundo Mar as well, theme parks are also open, limited hours and limited days, I think, but these are open too for you to discover. Except for swimming at the beach and water activities, all the rest, there it is for all of the tourists and locals to enjoy. Also, there's activities on the beach, like the physical activities, aerobics, dancing, etc. These activities are not every single day, but there are timetables on the Visit Benidorm website or on Benidorm's Town Hall website in the upcoming events. And they show you that it's on the Poniente Beach, on the Levante Beach. There's power walks down the beach line, and then at the Dove Park as well, which is where we see them the most. Plus, the end of the Dove Park, right below on the beach line. They put on some music, they do some dancing, some moving around, some exercise on the fresh air right by the sea. What can be better than that? Let's continue with the second news, and it is about the prestigious newspaper, The Times, that visited our region. They've been here only just a few days, from 3rd to 5th of February, which means that they just departed from here. And these journalists, what they were doing is they were taking all the important knowledge and everything they should need about the region, both about Alicante and Benidorm town. Why? Because they're preparing a very, very big article which is related with tourism, British tourism here in Spain, of how it evolved since the decades of 50s and 60s, what's been happening, how the places have changed with all this time. And it's great that they came here to document themselves, because like this you can definitely say, well, yes, they have all the information. They've been documenting themselves, they've been informing themselves, and that is a true information. They've been collaborating with the Visit Benidorm and with the town hall as well. So we know that, and you know that when this article will come out, it's a true authentic information that they've gathered from here, being in person in our region, and not some kind of false claims or false information for people who have not even ever been here in Benidorm town, Costa Blanca, or Spain in general. So this is great, and the Times is, I do feel like it's kind of a prestigious newspaper. Thus, they do things in a correct order, which is very, very good. I'm looking forward for their article, to be honest. And not only for that, there's going to be a book which will be called The Great Escape. And this is for 400 years of history of British tourism. That's insane. Whenever this book comes out, it would be interesting to actually read it. And this book will show all history of British tourism. Obviously, a big part of it is how people started to come here to Spain, Costa Blanca region mostly, and the islands, Balearic, Canarian Islands probably. So it's going to be great to see all these changes, and definitely British tourism, as well as some other main nations who mostly come here to the area statistically, they've contributed a lot to our economy. And I feel like even though there's been protests, even though there's been people saying tourists go home, but those who generally know how the world works and how the economy works and how people here in Spain are earning their money by working, they know that we need tourists. They know that it's an important part of the economy, one of the main parts of it. And these people would never even, it would never even occur to them to say that we don't need tourists go home, because they know that this interesting industry needs tourists in order to survive and maintain the jobs for a lot of people who depend in one or other way from tourism, national and international one, doesn't matter, but tourism in general in our region. We'll see which kind of articles and books will end up being posted, but definitely these will be some good ones. Let's continue with the last news, and it is about hotels in Benidorm that are rejecting totally the reduction of the working hours that will be imposed here by the government. You know that in Spain, officially, the maximum amount of hours that people are allowed to work in a week is 40. But right now, the Ministry of Work, they've decided that they need to lower down the timing towards 37 and a half hours, and they actually want to reduce this amount of time to be able to allow family slash work life to be combined together better for the sake of children, the families, and in general, I do think it's a correct thing to do, and this will not affect the wage, by the way. So you work on average like 30 minutes less in a day, but you still maintain the same wage. So basically, there is no kind of changes in terms of workers, but the employers will need to pay the same salary, will need to pay the same taxes, and the worker will be a half an hour less at their job position. And this is something that might work in like offices or like in any other places, you know, but here in the hotel industry and hosteleria industry, it might not be the case. And this is very important basically because it's going to be incrementing the costs of what the employer will be paying for the social security, of what they will actually pay, because they will need to contract some new workers, because here the industry works 24/7 a lot of the times, with the exception of bars, restaurants, cafeterias obviously, but hotel industry, it works 24/7. Reception, for example, they do work various shifts, morning, evening, night one, and these hours are based on 8-hour shifts. So it's just perfect. It's 3 people a day, 8 hours each. But now, when it's going to be 7.5 or like 7-hour shifts, obviously they will need to cover it up somehow and have probably one extra person, and that's one extra social security, that one's one extra salary, and some more expenses. So they're saying that if this eventually will be implemented in all Spain, which is not confirmed just yet, it's more or less halfway through now, but still there's needs to be like official confirmation for when it's going to be implemented. And if it's going to come through, then obviously, if costs increase, they will need to repercute these costs somehow on people. They will need to gather the money from somewhere, obtain the money from somewhere. And where do they obtain their profit and the income? Obviously, from the clients. So clients will be the ones who will have to pay a portion of the increase of the costs of the tourism industry, which is not good at all. And obviously, while offices, administrations, banks, pharmacies, maybe even because they don't work the whole day, all the business institutions that do have a typical work day from 9 till 5, for example, those ones will be able to manage it perfectly. But other industries like tourism one will have a hard time with it. Let us know, how many hours is your maximum work week in the country where you live in? We'll read you here in the comments. And now let's have a short walk and we'll show you what the weather is looking like right now in our region. This is what the weather is looking like today. You can see blue skies. It's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. The birds are flying around. There's quite a lot of people here on the triangular square this morning, and it's still morning time. It's 10 something in the morning, not even midday. There's going to be some rain coming up from north parts of Spain and central parts, but here it will be sunny with just the tiniest bit of clouds on the next couple of days. Should not be raining though. The temperatures are more or less the same as they were the previous days without any kind of major changes. We're not reaching 20 degrees, but it's around 16 to 18. If you sit enough on the sunshine, you might feel like it's plus 20 outside. Although in the shade, obviously, it's way more chilly than that. In Alicante, though, there will be plus 21 degrees these days. So if you have some spare day or half of day and you want to visit nearby areas, we always recommend you to grab a tram, grab a rented vehicle if you want to have slightly more freedom, and travel to the nearby cities to enjoy everything that these have to offer. There is no alert due to extreme weather conditions, so all good. We're enjoying our good old Benidorm town. Thank you for accompanying us on today's latest news update. We wish you an incredible day and we'll see you here on the channel tomorrow with a brand new video where we will be trying the executive breakfast at the fancy 4-star Superior Bristol Hotel. We'll see you then. Bye, Dees.